Good afternoon all. Previous lecture we had discussed with Graafian follicle, last one, the Graafian follicle and its structure. Now on the 14th day, see, one important MCQ, one structure which is not endocrine. The structure which is not endocrine in nature, but it acts as an endocrine gland temporarily. So that answer is corpus luteum. So Graafian follicle is ruptured on the 13th day, 14th day of the menstrual cycle. Fine. After rupture the Graafian follicle, the blood vessels connected to the Graafian follicle also rupture. So Graafian follicle is then initiated, converted into Graafian hemorrhagicum. Okay, Graafian hemorrhagicum or Graafian hemorrhagium, and then later on this Graafian hemorrhagium, it is converted into endocrine, temporary endocrine gland is known as corpus luteum. But generally, you know that corpus luteum secrete only progesterone hormone. But apart from that progesterone hormone, little bit amount of estrogen that is also secreted by corpus luteum. The cells of the corpus luteum known as lutein cells. So these lutein cells secrete progesterone hormone. Whereas apart from this, it also secretes estrogen in very least quantity. Okay, so only one thing you have to remember, that Graafian follicle or corpus luteum acts as a temporary endocrine gland. But on the 23rd day, yes, on the 14th day, Graafian follicle ruptures and corpus luteum formation occur. But on the 23rd day of the menstrual cycle, Graafian follicle degenerates. Fine. I mean to say corpus luteum degenerates. See, corpus luteum start degenerating corpus luteum starts degenerating after about ninth day of its formation, that is on the 23rd day of the menstrual cycle. But here condition is there, if fertilization does not occur then and there. So fertilization doesn't occur, leads to degradation or degeneration of the corpus luteum. As a result, corpus albicans is generated. So degraded corpus luteum is known as corpus albicans. One thing, corpus callosum, corpus luteum and corpus albicans. These three words meaning you clarify that. Okay? Fine. On 6th to 7th day after fertilization, implantation occurs. Implantation occurs in the fundus, that is the main body of the uterus. So you know that the uterus is pyriform shape. total number of follicles in both the ovaries of young adult woman, fine, that is known as 4 lakh follicles. But out of these 4 lakh follicles, follicular atresia occurs. Follicular atresia means so many follicles become dead or degenerated. So after follicular atresia, only 300 to 400 follicles remain in each ovary. Okay, so total 600 to 800 follicles are present in both the ovaries. Generally, during each menstrual cycle, only one ova is secreted from one ovary, but alternatively this is most important one. In NEET, one question was asked that how many ova are released by one ovary within 1 year. Options are 6, 12, 18, all of this. So generally in textbook the sentence is given like that. During one menstrual cycle, one ovum is released by one ovary, but alternatively one is not there. So per 1 year, each ovary release 6 ova. So during this menstrual cycle, the ovary release the ova. In next menstrual cycle, the release of the ova occurred by the another ovary. So alternatively, at 2 months, ovary turns to release the ova. Fine. So per 1 year, 6 ova are released by one ovary. So this is the most important one there, important point. Now, see, you know that primary oocyte, it undergoes meiosis division 1, and the divisional growth is arrested in the prophase. So during embryonic life to puberty stage, 7 million primary oocytes are there. So 7 million become 4 lakh at the puberty. So at embryonic stage, 7 million primordial follicles are there. So during puberty stage, it becomes 4 lakh. Then primary follicle during puberty. So during puberty, 4 lakh primary oocytes, it undergoes follicular atresia, and during puberty 1,20,000 to 1,60,000 follicles are remaining. During each menstrual cycle, 6 to 10 primary follicles are activated by FSH. So now the primary follicle is converted into secondary follicle. One to two in number. Primary oocyte arrested in the prophase stage. During every menstrual cycle, so out of the 6 to 10 primary follicles, 1 or 2 secondary follicles are activated. So during every menstrual cycle, from 1 or 2 secondary follicle, 1 mature tertiary follicle or grafted follicle is formed, and it is present there in the metaphase stage. menstrual cycle normal duration 28 days ideally, but here the range is from 22 to 32 days. See, the number of days of menstrual cycle exactly on the mid of the menstrual cycle. If we consider menstrual cycle of 28 days, so on the 14th day ovulation occurs. So if menstrual cycle is of 24 days, then ovulation occurs on the 12th day. Fine. So remember, on the mid of each menstrual cycle, at the mid of each menstrual cycle, ovulation occurs. So in some females, menstrual cycle period, the duration is altered. It is minimum 22 days to maximum it is of 32 days, but here ideally we have taken 28 days. Initially first to 5 days first 5 days known as menstrual phase or bleeding phase, and here might be 60 to 80 ml, not exceed more than 100 ml, blood is lost. Okay, later on I will tell you. Second phase, 6 to 13 days, known as so you know that 6 to 13th day known as proliferation phase or pre-ovulatory phase. So before ovulation, 6 to 13th day, one ovarian follicle it undergoes meiosis division 1 and then it is converted into Graafian follicle. So 14th day, so 15 to 28 days, that phase is known as luteal phase or secretory phase or post-ovulatory phase. Okay, so this is about the duration of the menstrual cycle known by different phases. In textbook you have learned that LH search induced ovulation. Yes, maximum amount of the LH. If in blood maximum amount of the LH is there, it induces ovulation. So at ovulationary stage, the LH reach its peak level, known as LH surge. So it leads to ovulation. Estrogen, it is useful for endometrium development. Whereas progesterone promotes secretory nature of endometrium. It means you know that actually before 14th day there is no chance of fertilization. Actually before 14th day there is no chance of fertilization. But after 14th day the progesterone is secreted, it promotes the secretory nature of the endometrium. As a result, endometrium is now ready for implantation of the embryo in the uterus. Fine. Now let us discuss the difference between estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone is also known as anti-abortion hormone or pregnancy hormone. The most important word here. Anti-abortion or pregnancy hormone. This one is the most important one. Fine. So abortion, you know that in 4th chapter we have discussed that due to any reason the fetus is removed outside of the body before viability. Okay, so that procedure is known as abortion. So progesterone prevents the abortion, that's why it is known as anti-abortion hormone, as well as it maintains the pregnancy in a normal state. Fine. So which are the difference between estrogen and progesterone? See, number one, first of all, what happened that estrogen controls endometrium hyperplasia during initially 1 to 3 days. Initially 5 days, endometrium ruptures. So that ruptured endometrium is regenerated during 6 to 13th day. So new formation of the endometrium known as endometrial hyperplasia. Progesterone, after secretion of the progesterone from the corpus luteum, so endometrium improve its secretory nature, and that's why after 14th day, from 15th day to 28th day, that is known as secretory phase, okay, or luteal phase. So after formation of the endometrium, estrogen is helpful for increase the vascularity of the endometrium. So artery become tortuous. It improve the more blood supply to the endometrium. Whereas progesterone increase the adhesive nature of the endometrium. Estrogen promotes the myometrial hypertrophy. Muscles become hypertrophied. As a result here, myometrium become much more thick, but progesterone decrease the myometrial contraction. Okay, so it reduce the pain. Last point, so estrogen ultimately increase the thickness of the uterine wall, whereas progesterone maintain thickness of the uterine wall. Okay, so this promotes the pregnancy. So this is the difference between estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so this is the table between the estrogen and progesterone. Right? So hope you understand this very well. MCQ, which hormones are reduced in the blood to induce menstrual cycle? In body, which hormone is reduced to initiate the menstrual cycle? So answer is lower level of the estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone become low. Induce menstruation. Okay? Or otherwise, you think about that if during the secretory phase, you know that during the secretory or luteal phase, the progesterone amount is higher. So, reduce the progesterone amount leads to menstrual cycle starts. Fine. Now, the functional layer of the endometrium is known as stratum functionalis. So at the time of reduction in the estrogen progesterone hormone, the blood supply to the stratum functionalis decreases, as well as here prostaglandin is secreted to degrade it. So prostaglandin, it is formed by uterus. Prostaglandins are formed by uterus, and due to this prostaglandins, gradually the blood supply to the stratum functionalis decreases. As a result, gradually degradation occurs, but it creates the pain. This is known as menstrual pain. Fine. Menstrual blood cannot clot. Due to fibrinolytic enzymes, the menstrual blood can't clot at all. And average during menstruation phase, average 40 to 80 ml blood loss per cycle. Second phase, 6 to 13th day, proliferation phase or pre-evolutionary phase, is also known as follicular phase or estrogenic phase. Proliferation phase, that is 6 to 13th day, that phase is known as follicular phase or estrogenic phase. During this time, highest amount of estrogen is there, so it promotes more amount of estrogen, facilitates formation of stratum functionalis. So new endometrium formation occur during 6 to 13th day. On 22nd day of menstrual cycle, maximum development of corpus luteum occurs. Endometrium thickness is maximum on the 23rd day of the menstrual cycle. Corpus albicans. You know that corpus albicans is degraded corpus luteum. On 28th day, corpus albicans can't secrete any type of the hormone, but on the up to 23rd day, corpus luteum secrete the progesterone. But you know that on the 23rd day, the corpus luteum degradation starts. Fine. So here this is about the menstrual cycle, brief information. On the basis of such information, day 1 to day 8 as well as day 20 to day 28, these days are the safe period method for family planning method. So in 4th chapter, you know that estimated ovulation day 10 to 17th day. So 10 to 17th day known as fertility period, and here majority there is a chance of fertilization. So estimated 10 to 17th day ovulation occur. So 1 to 8th day and 20 to 28 days are the safe period method for family planning. On these days there is no chance of fertilization at all. Okay, fine. So here this is about the menstrual cycle information. Thank you very much to all. I hope you understand this. See you in next lecture.